but specifically on what Republicans could put forth when they sit at that table with you. Secretary Mnuchin specifically said the enhanced unemployment benefit will not exist in its current form going forward. He suggested 70% wage replacement. Are you simply saying that that is just not going to be okay with you? That it's a deal breaker?
No. I don't think that's the policy we ought to pursue. If we're going to ratchet that down, it ought to be over time as we try to get this economy moving again. But no, it's not a deal breaker. My point is, put on the table what you think is necessary. And frankly, the president rejecting out of hand
that's what he thinks is necessary.
Well, then he's wrong. If that's all he thinks is necessary, he is absolutely wrong. And very frankly, he was wrong when he asked for $250 billion, and we said no, the hospitals need more money, testing and tracing need more money. And very frankly, some weeks later, the Senate agreed to exactly the figures that we suggested, less $14 billion, a smaller, much smaller sum than they originally were objecting to, the $250 billion. So that's what he's saying now. If it's a negotiating stance, he should have taken that 8 weeks ago, and we started there. But he didn't. The administration didn't. The Senate didn't. McConnell said let the states go bankrupt, which was an absurd recommendation, which have had extraordinary adverse impact on our economy and our people. So that the unemployment insurance is absolutely essential. He's right on that. And if he wants to negotiate some alternative figures, fine, put them on the table. Let's talk about them. But don't keep twiddling your thumbs while the American people are burning from a virus and a tanking economy. Apparently, I didn't hear it, but he talked about the president doesn't want to give money to the states and localities because they've been mismanaged. Yes. The most mismanaged government in America today is the federal government under the Trump administration, period.
So Leader Hoyer, there seems to be profound differences, at least right now, between the Democrats and the Republican plan as it stands and presented by Secretary Mnuchin on the enhanced unemployment benefit, on giving money to states. And in terms of testing, the Secretary had talked about $16 billion for testing, which I believe is well short of what Democrats have been proposing. So given all of these differences right now and understanding that there is negotiation to happen, so
and we're participating.
The gap is that big.
Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker, is participating.
Are we at risk of not having a stimulus plan? Are we at risk of not passing this next CARES Act?
We need a stimulus package. We need the HEROES bill to pass. And if it's not exactly the way we passed it, so be it. That's the legislative process. But they have, for 2 months, dissembled, for 2 months delayed, for 2 months created this crisis that we are now confronting at the end of this month. And it's time to get this done. Our Speaker is at the table. Schumer is at the table. But very frankly, it was a very late coming forward for the administration and for the United States Senate. It's late, but it's never too late to do the right thing, and we are prepared to move ahead with serious negotiations. And yes, we'll have to compromise. Why? Because the Senate and the presidency are controlled by Republicans. We control the House. So they'll have to compromise. And that's what happened in the fourth phase of our response to the coronavirus, where they initially asked for $250 billion just to increase the PPP, and we ended up making a deal at $484 billion. We asked for $5 billion. So, yes, we compromised. It was a marginal compromise. Why? Because the administration and the Senate ultimately decided we were right. The expenditures we were proposing were necessary. That's the case now. And you ask the governors, you ask the Republican governors, they will say they're hemorrhaging revenues. They're going to have to lay off teachers, police, fire, emergency medical response teams, sanitation workers, people who make our society safer. And it is very frustrating that this administration has been so lax and so late in coming forward. But we are prepared. We're at the table.
The bottom line, though, Leader Hoyer, the bottom line, do you think that you will have a bill signed by the deadline? Do you believe that a bill will be signed? Not should a bill be signed. Yes, a bill should be signed. Will a bill be signed?
I have no idea what the President of the United States is going to do. I think he's
Okay.
totally irresponsible. And so whether he's going to sign a bill or not, I don't know. I believe there are the votes in the United States Senate to make a deal which we can agree with. Whether the President agrees with it,
Okay.
we'll have to see.